Hi guys, so this is an interpretation video. This is today's Google Doodle and they're celebrating garden gnomes. But as we do, we flip it upside down and I think what we can see is a nuclear detonation inside of a funnel shaped volcano, representation of a volcano. I'll explain. So the cone shape is the representation of the volcano. Here where I've drawn the lines on the outside, I've done that because the gnome's face, the way they've done it, because the beard comes into the goatee, the face kind of divides up into this weird shape. That weird shape reminded me of the nuclear detonation sign. This one here, the same kind of shaping, circle in the middle. And when I look back at the imagery here, it was like, okay, yeah, same kind of outline and then circle in the middle. And obviously the other part of the sign would be inside of this cone, which I think represents the volcano. So that would be a nuclear detonation inside of a volcano. And then you've got like a cloudy outline, which I think represents ash, so volcanic eruption. And then above that, you've got a semicircular um, shape, which has been kind of emphasized above, some kind of lines going across it. That to me is the nuclear detonation. So, and I've already had this theory and I put it out there, so this is just a continuation of that. And this is today's Google Doodle, so it's not as if I'm, somehow getting ahead of time. This is what they're doing now. They could be playing off of common theories that are out there, just messing with us in that sense. Or it could be that we're maybe actually onto something in the sense of what they may plan to do and how that may develop into, one of the biggest earthquakes we've ever seen, one of the biggest tsunamis we've ever seen, and following that, war. So just think about that for a second. It may be possible that that's what it's depicting, and even the G itself, that could be interpreted as the number 6 when it's this way around, and it's got these 2 leaves coming off of it. So obviously next week is a high watch week and it starts with Monday the 11th. So 6 and 2 leaves, maybe 6/11, another possible interpretation. So I'm just putting out that warning from Monday, June the 11th, through that whole week. You need to be incredibly watchful, particularly I think for this scenario involving volcanoes, nuclear detonations and submarines. We've already seen what the Chinese Navy have done. They did it in January and February, but it's only been kind of released to us now, conveniently. Even this G over here, it doesn't have the same kind of emphasized shadows. This G over here doesn't have the same kind of emphasized shadows as this G over here. So the way I'm kind of looking at it, it could be times, 3 different times. So long hand, short hand, short hand, long hand, long hand, short hand. Those are 3 different times. Looks like around 3, 10:30, something maybe 7, 8 o'clock on this last one here. I don't know. I'm just putting out the interpretation. I'm just giving you my thoughts here. None of this is backed up by fact. This is just what I'm seeing and letting you guys know, just in case. In connection with that, the red triangle, sorry, just go back to that for a second. The red triangle that we've got here could be different representations, but when I typed it in on Google, just red triangle, and went on Wikipedia, there's a couple of different interpretations. Base Brewery, it's a logo for an English brewer. Red triangle badge for Nazi concentration camp, a symbol of on the Brazilian state flag. Red triangle for Channel 4, British television. Red triangle family planning, the family planning health and contraception services. This is the one that interested me here, the red triangle Pacific Ocean, a shark-infested Pacific Ocean region off the North Californian coast. So I'm not making it up, it just all kind of tied in to the exact scenario that I talked about in just one of my recent videos. Possible submarine launching a nuclear weapon into Kilauea, setting off a nuclear detonation, and a volcanic eruption, an earthquake, and a tsunami. Guys, those are just my thoughts. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and God bless.